You comfortable there?
Try my best.
All right. Lights on! Okay, let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, I'm AJ.
I'm Aaron.
And we're from modernintel.ca. So basically this video is just going to cover the Paintball Extravaganza that just happened on the 28th of February to the 1st of March.
Yeah. Tuesday to Thursday.
Yeah, basically. And we're just going to go through with some of the things that were kind of released but not go into detail about them because we don't really know that much about them, right? They're basically new products.
Yeah, they're released products, but it's a lot of information to us is more speculation.
Yeah. But basically, from what we've seen, it was a good year. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
A lot of new Milsig stuff is coming out. So we're pretty excited.
There's a lot of magazine fed stuff. A lot of love for First Strike.
Yep, yep. Looks like that's the key focus for any Milsig marker coming out into the market, which is always good for the people who created First Strike, true type areas.
Yes, exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, first of all, what we saw, Rap4's booth. We saw the D-Mags.
Yes.
Now, we all already know about the D-Mags, and there's already been some videos up online about it, but we got a little more detail, and there's been some videos passed around from Paintball Extravaganza as well. And what we got, so far, most people, what they know about it is that it's a twin stack. 10x2. I believe they actually also have a like a 20-round version. They have a 10-round version, I believe, so it's a little shorter. And then they have a 14-14, so you get, what is that, 28 rounds or something like that. Again, these are mostly all speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my good math, right? But both chambers can accept either paintballs or first strikes. So you can have one chamber paintball, one chamber first strikes.
Basically, or both and both, or whichever way you want to run.
Toolless design, which is great. And just in a minute, we'll show you a little video of them doing a little assembly. And it just takes a couple minutes to put together.
Yeah, easy to clean. Yeah. You wouldn't have to fiddle around with screwdrivers or anything like that for any previous mags you might have worked on. It's all pretty straightforward, easy, and assembly and disassembly. So.
Exactly. And the one benefit that I'm really digging, I think AJ also does, no more collar.
Yes.
Yeah, because those collars, actually, right here, these collars,
they are a pain in the ass.
They are. You know, like, we'll deal with them if that's what it means. But if you're going to offer us something different, you know, if it works, you know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because then these things are so awkward to put into vests, and they always stick up, and then we trip them, and the balls come out everywhere.
Yeah.
So everything's recessed, and nothing can be tripped accidentally, so unless you put it in the gun.
Again, speculation.
Yeah.
We're still just kind of getting more information as the days go on, but that's basically how it is.
But anyways, we can show you a picture here of what it's all about, and you guys can get the idea of what it looks like without the collar on. So other than that, Milsig, we went over the Milsig booth, or we saw the pictures from the Milsig booth, and they had some new guns.
Yeah. They had the M17.
Yes, which was, it's more or less their new style of marker. Before they had the K series, the M series, and that's it. They had the K series low end, and they had the K series elite high end, and then they had the Paradigm, which was the limited edition.
Yeah, basically.
Now what they plan on doing is having the K series. They're going to still keep it, but I believe speculation is that they're going to keep it lower end. M17 is their more new platform, which is what we're going to talk about now. Yeah. And then I believe they're going to stay with the Paradigm.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the M17.
M17 looks like a fantastic marker.
It does.
But again, it's all updated features. It's basically their, I guess, sniper rifle, more or less. Would you say?
Their M17?
Yeah.
No, I would say that's their support machine gun.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh,
I would say the Paradigm. Yeah, the Paradigm is definitely their sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah. The M17, actually, this is something you're going to love. Fully mechanical.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Full auto.
Yes.
It can be done, people. No electronics in this marker whatsoever.
No batteries required.
That's how it's done, right? It proves it, and I can't wait for this to come out and for us to play around with it and show you guys that it actually does work without batteries.
Exactly, and then that'll just kind of maybe snowball every other company to kind of take up this mechanical full auto ability, I guess.
Exactly.
Find their own way to do it without batteries.
Yep. Now, one thing we've seen, and we're not sure about this, is that The body is plastic. Now it is a composite plastic, somewhat like the Glocks. Apparently.
Again, speculation, but it's supposed to be, you know, super strong, durable, and when we do have our hands on something like this, you know us, we'll give it a test, right? And we'll make sure.
So, just for that, we'll show you a picture of the M17 right now.
As you see, it's a nice looking marker.
Tank in stock. No external airlines is what they've done with their whole series, including their K series. So it's still giving love to them. And
you can buy kits too if you have like an old K series or whatever to kind of convert to.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And First Strike mags, First Strike compatible M17, and all their new markers. K series is not, but you can also upgrade your old magazines to be accepted in the new guns. That does not mean they're First Strike compatible though. But at least you can still use the mags by just changing the collar.
And you can't buy new mags and expect them to work in your old K series markers.
The collar,
it's a different collar.
The collar's they're totally different, and they're First Strike compatible.
Yeah.
So next up.
Next up would be the Paradigm 2, I guess.
Yes, Paradigm 2, which is what we've all been waiting for. We tested the original Paradigm.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Right.
It's well, as you've seen from the test, we both enjoyed it. It's well built, accurate. A few problems in the beginning, but you know they've worked themselves out, and now they're on the 2nd gen. So
exactly. Yeah.
We're just looking for more.
So yeah, just some light information that we got. It is a spool valve, which is what their M17 actually also uses. So it's going to be a little more efficient on air. It's like the original Paradigm, in which ways it's fully aluminum, machined, CNC machined, so it's going to be very, very nice, very professional build, very high quality. But one thing they've really gotten rid of was the tombstone in the center, which is where the airline comes from before.
Yeah. So now it's a little more compact. You can get to the mag properly, and you don't have that much problem with small hands.
And it also looks more real, right?
Yeah.
Because there's not that gap on a real rifle. So I believe the Paradigm 2 would be just like its little brother, the Paradigm 1, in which ways that it would be weighed the same as a original M16, I believe they marketed it as, right? So it's about 7 pounds around there. So I would assume that's going to be the same. Otherwise, spool valve, internal airline, tank stock. This is going to be your sniper rifle.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it's going to be. First Strike compatible. It's going to be semi-auto only, but again, it's machined, pretty much hand machined, CNC, high quality aluminum, and you know they got the First Strike mags that they're going to be releasing too, that are 10 rounds straight.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. And the Paradigm, we heard we're going to be about around $1,000. We're not exactly sure what the price is, but
again, speculation.
Exactly, yeah.
I think the first Paradigm was around that too, right?
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see with that.
Yeah.
So we can show a picture of the Paradigm 2.
Next up, they had these pistol kits, FXR pistol kits, and basically they would take your existing 8.1 or TPX and kind of convert them into a rifle. I don't know if it's just we're again speculation, not sure exactly what it includes, but it more or less just looks like shroud. You just add a stock, bit of a barrel, and adds a little bit more to the body. That's about it.
What it reminded me of was the old Ops Gear kits.
Yeah.
But those were a little lower quality build. They were like more sheet metal. This one looks to be CNC, a little higher quality. But yeah, it's more of just a shroud. What I noticed is that you can put a barrel on. I'm not sure if it comes with it, but they've been talking about a marksman barrel on it. So if you have an 8.1, you can shoot First Strike through the rifled marksman barrel, and actually apparently meant to achieve greater accuracy from First Strike because it starts rifling before it hits the air.
Yeah, which makes sense if that's how it works, right?
Yeah. We have not tested it.
Yeah. Who knows if you end up chopping more balls using the rifled barrel because it might affect the fins differently, right?
Exactly. But that's something we'll test out later on. Yeah. And then other than that, we have heard word that there's going to be a lot of tank stock on these FXR kits.
Yes.
Which is going to be pretty cool.
I mean, especially for the TPIX. TIPX?
It's so hard to say.
It is. I was getting confused.
Me too.
Anyways, for a marker like that where they run on CO2 pretty much only, and we were getting low amount of shots per cartridge. I think it's like 14.
14 rounds, yeah.
So if you have through stock, that might increase the amount of ammo you can go through.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could run a tank stock like the Milsigs, like the T9.1, stuff like that, right?
Series, yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be great for higher cap magazines, maybe the extended mags like the T8.1 has, or will be getting from Extreme Dreams, I believe they're making them. But anyways, that's beside the point. And then now we're on to the Rap4 Beta Mag.
Yes, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of this thing or not, but it looks interesting. It's more or less just two 50-round drums attached to like the upper receiver of a normal Rap4 mag. And you can load them individually. Rap4 has made them so that they are first strike compatible.
Yes.
So you can have paintballs, first strike, two paintballs, depends on what you are allowed to use, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, and just to give you an idea right now, we'll show you a picture. Keep in mind, it is a prototype.
So basically, you can see that, you know, there are basically two round drums on either side. You just slap it in on the bottom of the marker. And we're not quite sure how you would start feeding from one drum to the other. Like if you have to take it out, switch it around, flip the switch, we're not sure. Again, it's just kind of new speculation.
Yeah, we could assume either way. Yeah, we're not sure.
Yeah.
And we're not sure again. It might be electronic, it might be mechanical. Assuming Rap4, it's probably gonna be electronic.
Yeah, just like their big box mag.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Interesting. Next thing is kind of a big deal. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's the Carmatech SAR12, which is basically a bolt action marker that can be converted into a semi-automatic.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they say it's going to take maybe like less than a minute to convert from one to the other.
Yeah, which is cool. Basically, you just pull the bolt back. I'm not sure if you have to pull a pin or flip it a certain way, but you should be able to take out all the insides of the bolt action and just insert a semi-automatic internals, and then just go back to the field, I guess, and just keep on shooting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, just to give you guys an idea, it is again a prototype, but we'll show you a little video right here.
So that video does show you a basic idea. Now it is just more of a CAD drawing, but it does work around the ideas of what it works like, what the features are. But some other features that we know about, of course it is first strike compatible.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep. Magazine
fed. I believe it's actually a 12-round magazine.
12.
Yes, I believe so. Which is why it's called the SAR12.
Okay.
Yeah, so 6 rounds on both sides.
And it's just a simple matter of taking out the mag. You probably saw in the video, just twisting it and reloading again. So 6 on each side. You add first strike, paintball, so it works both ways.
Yeah. So which would be pretty cool. Yeah, again, you could have multiple choices or whatever, right? And the marker itself, which you saw, is style kind of like the 50 cal, the Barrett style sniper rifles.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Another cool little feature is that the pistol grip is interchangeable with any other pistol grip that you can find out on the market for actual pistols.
Yeah, or like an M16 or something.
Yeah, so you can just, if you want to customize it yourself, just take that off and find one that you're more comfortable with.
Yeah. Now that's something we didn't mention on the other marker. Milsig's M17 will be using a pistol grip as well, like an M16 style, so you can interchange it. And remember what we said a little while ago? Milsig's grips?
Oh, about how uncomfortable and they are, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll look forward to reviewing that.
Yeah.
But, Carmatech, new company, we're excited to see what it looks like. I think they quoted around, what'd you say, $1,000?
But yeah, about there.
Yeah, and apparently the release date right now, September 1st.
Yes.
2012, which is It's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how many kind of kinks this first generation, I guess, has. But yeah, once we get our hands on it, we'll throw up a video review.
It'll be a good review if we get to test that one out. But I think that pretty much calls it. Oh, one more thing. Do you want to announce it?
Oh yes, Tiberius, kind of word on the grapevine, I guess you could say. They may or may not be producing a 4.1.
Do you like that?
I do.
I think AJ likes that.
Yeah.
There's been some laughs around of it because last year we designed a joke that the T4.1 was announced and we got the exclusive picture, but it was April Fool's.
Yeah. So it's just a little April Fool's joke.
So the picture that you see on the internet, if you ever see one, if it has a double trigger, that is not what it's going to be like because we designed that, and then there was a gigantic scope. That's not what it's going to look like, okay?
At least we hope not, anyways.
Well, yeah. Hopefully they didn't actually take it literally.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's the news. That was Paintball Extravaganza.
2012.
2012. Yeah, that is true. Lots of love for First Strike, lots of love for Milsig and like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good year.
Gonna be good. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks a lot.
And stay tuned.